What's up guys, Csaba here from Game of Conversions, back with another proven sales letter breakdown video. So today we're taking a look at one of Ramit Sethi's courses. It's called How to Talk to Anybody, and it's a great little course. I personally haven't taken it, but I've read the sales page and I've been subscribed to Ramit's email list for like 2 years when I got started, so I got a lot of value from him. He's definitely a great guy who combines entrepreneurship and marketing and copywriting and just life in general, mindset, money, investments, all these stuff. And I wanted to choose this because it's a great little sales page that has pretty much everything that you need in order to create a highly persuasive sales message, okay? So whenever you're writing a sales page or a sales letter, the name of the game is to be persuasive. So this is actually an average length sales page. And as we go through it, you'll see all the critical elements. So basically, as you watch this video, you'll basically get a proven sales letter structure for free that you can use for your own sales messages, okay, or for your own products, services, coaching offers, whatever you want. It will work. This is pretty universal in a sense. Obviously, you need to customize it, but I'm going to show you and reveal how you can do this yourself. So if you're new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe because I'm releasing these videos daily nowadays. My aim is to get to 100 videos in 100 days of these proven sales letter breakdowns. And if you subscribe and also click the little notification icon below, then you'll be the first to know when I release a new video. And also make sure to like this video if you enjoy this stuff, because it definitely helps a lot with the algorithm, with these people reaching more people who are interested. And I can definitely appreciate it a lot. So let's jump into it. The first thing that you can notice is that we have the name of the product itself, how to talk to anybody. And normally in most sales letters, this isn't necessarily the case because you want to warm people up to the topic first and only then introduce the product. But the caveat here is that people who land on this page are already at least a problem aware, but more likely a solution aware stage. What does this mean? Gene Schwartz, legendary copywriter and marketer, came up with the stages of awareness methodology. You can check out the video. I made a video about the 5 stages of awareness. It's really crucial in marketing. You can find it in my videos, so make sure to check that out as well. And what this means in essence, in reality, is that people who land on this sales page often come from emails. So they subscribe to Ramit Sethi's email list. They just, request a free lead magnet or something like that. They subscribe to their email list, and then they get a lot of emails, value-based emails, stories, content, just some cool content. This is also called content marketing. And then eventually they'll get pitched various products and services. And this is one of those products. So you can know for sure that if somebody lands here, they're at least somewhat familiar with your brand and they are somewhat familiar with a specific problem. And in this case, the problem that we are connecting to is not being able to talk to other people efficiently, or like not being charismatic enough, not being interesting when you talk, not knowing what to say. It's a confidence product, basically, this one. And because of this, there are certain type of headlines and so-called leads that you can use. Now, leads are the first few hundred words of the promotion. So it's the headline and then something that would go around like here, but it doesn't have to be that way. And this one uses a problem solution lead. What this means is that we're calling out the problem that people have in our target audience that they have, and we're hinting at a solution. We're deconstructing their false beliefs. We're presenting like what's really the cause of their problem, and then we're offering a solution. So on a higher strategic level, this is what this sales page is going for. And the reason why I'm going so deep into analyzing this is because ultimately it's not really the specific words that you use or specific persuasion triggers that you use that matters for a conversion, from a conversion standpoint. But ultimately it's like your big idea, or what's the already established big fear or problem or pain that you're connecting to. What's your offer? You know, all these very important marketing concepts are definitely critical whenever you want to sell something, and the rest is just gravy. All like the minuscule little words and stuff like that. They're still important, but it's you really have to have a clear mind whenever you get started with this. And I wanted to cover this because this is a great sales page, but it wouldn't work without nailing down the target audience, nailing down the product, creating a so-called product market fit for the product and the audience, you know, so that they actually want it, and using a correct lead. And the correct lead here is the problem solution lead. So it goes like this. The headline only says, "I was tired of feeling awkward." Okay, so it's a very short headline and it's a quote. And the aim here is to just establish emotional connection with the reader and to connect to that pain that I just mentioned here. Okay, and then in the subhead we have, "What if you could talk to anyone, anytime, using the power of body language to create an instant connection?" Pretty interesting, right? So sometimes, you know, you don't have to like overdo your headline. Sometimes like a few words is enough, because the aim of the headline is just to get people's attention and get them to read the lead and then read the rest of the copy. Okay, so that's it. And I think this does this well because, as I said, this is a problem solution lead. So we are calling out the problem, basically feeling awkward. It's a big problem that a lot of people have, and then we hint at a solution. So just like any good headline, it has like a key benefit that our people want. It has a unique mechanism, you know, using the power of body language. So this is a unique type of strategy, and it has instant results. It promises instant results. In fact, it's not even promises it, because it's a question, but it hints at it. It creates a potential new opportunity for our target audience, and that's what you want, to hint at a new opportunity that's the key to their number one desire, and that's only available through a specific unique mechanism. Okay, so that's what's happening here, and I think it's super effective. By the way, we also have like this little get how to talk to anybody for less than our advanced connectors package bundle. So this is for hyper responsive people. This is for people who are already ready to buy basically, and for them the rest of the sales page doesn't really apply, but this is only a very small percentage of people. It's like 1%, maybe 2%, but that's it. But it's still a lot of extra sales. But for the rest of the people, you have the sales page. So you have the headline, you have the subheadline, then you have some credibility markers. Again, very important in most of these cases. These just highlight that, you know, Ramit is a legit person. And then we have a little intro. But instead of talking about how great he is, how you know, he's a best-selling author, and like he's been featured in so many places, and is an entrepreneur, super mega successful guru, blah blah blah. You know, instead of that, it establishes an instant emotional connection, and it showcases Ramit's vulnerability. He shares how, you know, he was awkward, he was scared on TV, he whenever he got media appearances, he messed it up. And the reason for sharing this is to establish that emotional connection in the reader. It's feeling like, wow, I mean, you had the same thing, Ramit? Wow, I mean, maybe I should listen to you. That's the thing that you're going for. So after it, we have the lead that I said it's a problem solution lead. What happens here is just basically the classic problem agitation solution framework. It's like you describe a problem, you agitate it a little bit, and then you offer up a solution to that specific problem. It's pretty simple at the end of the day, and it ties in well with the sales argument that we're going to have later on, which is like, hey, you know, there is a solution to this problem, but the reason why you couldn't, you didn't succeed so far is because you had these specific false beliefs. And these things prevented you from succeeding. It's not your fault, you've been misled, okay? That's the narrative that you're going for. And it's still effective. It's been effective 50 years ago, and it's still super effective. So let me just read a few of these sentences to you so that you see actually how a problem solution lead feels like. And notice how it's relatively vivid. It's not John Carlton level of vivid, but it's relatively vivid, and it hints at relevant situations, like relevant situations that a lot of people can experience in their lives, a lot of people in our target audience, and things that Ramit also experienced at some point. But look at him now, he's this accomplished guy, so there must be some sort of solution that he discovered, right? Well, that's the secret that he's going to share with us. So here goes the lead. He says, years ago, I had never been on national TV or spoken in front of huge crowds. In fact, I was socially awkward. I would say the wrong thing at the wrong time. Everyone around me would stare at me silently. And later, I would beat myself up about saying the wrong thing. This went on for years. So, problem. And it wasn't just for work stuff. How many of us have felt this way when we try to talk to someone at a bar, or even to talk to new people at a wedding or event? The places change, but the story is the same. Unlike the naturals, who always seem to know the right thing to say, when we say something, it comes out completely wrong. Or worse, we just sit there quietly like a wallflower. If there's one thing worse than saying the wrong thing, it's being forgettable. I never wanted to be forgettable, and I definitely never wanted to be awkward. And these are all specific life situations that people in our target audience can associate themselves with. And this also twists the knife a little bit, which is very important whenever you want to convert somebody. So it goes going to an event filled with interesting people, then staying in the corner and checking my email for 20 minutes. I think this happened to a lot of introverted people. Walking up to two people talking, standing there awkwardly, and waiting for them to welcome me in the conversation. When they kept talking, I stood there, waiting, and finally turned around and left. Ooh. Or when starting to talk in a meeting, I noticed people making eye contact as if to say, "Oh no, here he goes again." This is what happens when you get a reputation as a rambler. Ugh. I've been there. Most of us have. You see how Ramit is actually connecting to the reader here? It's like he doesn't just talk about himself or you. He talks about himself and makes the connection to us as people, as we're in the same boat. We have the same problem. And that's what you want, because this is the thing that establishes credibility and vulnerability and trust in him. This whole part establishes the so-called know, like, and trust factor. Very important. So then we continue. The worst part is we use these singular experiences to write our internal story of who we are. Literally, we'll say, I'm not a natural, I'm not smooth, I could never talk to that guy or that girl. And the more awkward situations we get into, the more we reinforce this belief, leading to a tighter and tighter loop of doom. I like this, loop of doom. You're doing it again. Stop. Why can't you just act like a normal person? What can you do? So, I know that you can feel like this whole thing is escalating. It feels like agitating the whole problem. It feels like twisting the knife. It feels like Ramit is going deeper and deeper and deeper. And the reason for this is because the reader, it's important for them to start experiencing these emotions. Because if they don't start experiencing these emotions, they'll never get the motivation to actually do something about it. They'll just be like, yeah, I know, learning how to talk to people should be nice. I should learn that, but I don't know, next time, now there's some show on Netflix, I should watch that. So if it doesn't hurt enough, people won't make the change. That's why you have to agitate the pain a little bit. So, and that's why, we have these desperate type of questions, like, what can you do? It sounds like there's nothing you can do. And then Ramit goes on to say that other solutions are inferior. Naturally, you start, reading about this stuff on Google or in books, and you just hear the same solutions over and over again. The same BS type of solutions that don't really work, but we think they work, but they don't. And then he eventually starts hinting at a new opportunity. This is important because it connects with this thing at the headline, the power of body language. And here we have something like, but it doesn't have to be that way. After studying, testing, and improving for years, I identified a few simple beliefs holding me back, and some key insights that completely changed how I talk to people I already knew and people I just met. I'll tell you about these a little bit further down this page. Point is, I slowly and painfully clawed out of this and have even been on national TV. Yes, national TV. So notice how everything is like a slippery slope. It's like we start with the headline, then we start with the vulnerable story, then we get relevant examples of what it feels like, what it really feels like to have this pain. Then we build trust and empathy, then, you know, establishing other solutions, how they're inferior, then hinting at the new opportunity, and then basically going into this mini creation story of how the self-improvement aspect of Ramit came to be. Like, you know, he was desperate, so he started researching this stuff, and eventually he became successful at it. He doesn't tell you how exactly, but he just shows you how the before and how the after is. And this is really important because you know, people are intrinsically attracted to these before and after case studies. Just think about the weight loss industry or the fitness or make money, or like, before this I was broke, I had $39 in my bank account, but after using this, you know, I made $10,000 in my first month, or something like this. Okay, people are attracted to this, and this is a very elegant way of doing it here in this sales page. So after the creation story, we get once again a hint at a secret. It's like, here's the truth that nobody tells you, and this is like myth busting. This starts this shares a painful truth that basically debunks an already existing myth that people in our target audience believe that prevent them from getting the results that they want. Okay, so it goes like this: it doesn't matter how smart or prepared or accomplished you are if your first impression bombs. And if you can't carry a conversation that connects with the people around you, you're forgettable. That's the truth, okay? So I know it hurts, and the reader probably knows it hurts, but it's like you need to get into this emotional, deeper thing in order to get to the root of the problem. It's actually just like if you go to the dentist and, you know, one of your tooth is decayed or something, and the dentist has to like drill down and maybe even do a root canal from time to time, because like if your tooth is infected with bad stuff, just like your mind is infected with bad ideas, you can't really fix it. You can't really heal the problem that this is causing. So you have to get rid of the false things. You have to get rid of the blight. Okay, and that's what Ramit is going here. And he then eventually, the sales letter starts going deeper and deeper into unpacking these false beliefs. So it's very important to reframe these false beliefs, because this is how change happens, is that people start to convince themselves. You cannot really convince anybody of anything. You can only help them convince themselves of being wrong in something. Okay, it's not the easiest thing, especially nowadays when the whole world is so polarized and it's so hard to like change the minds of someone. But if you use emotion, you can definitely do it. With facts, it's very hard because people will resist it. But if you use psychological triggers and use a lot of emotion, you can still do it. And it's not just, this isn't just applicable to business, it goes for anything. So the name of the game in this few pages is to reframe false beliefs. Okay, as you can see, we have subheads like the blind spot that's holding you back. You know, it's like, it's funny how much time we'll spend improving our finances, our career, even what shampoo and body wash we buy. But we almost never take the time to improve our social skills, right? And it's true, like a lot of people, like what do we learn in school? It's like you have to learn math, you have to learn literature, you have to learn physics and chemistry and geography and history and all these things. But like, who teaches you like how to be charismatic, or how to get life skills, or how to have these various soft skills like emotional intelligence or empathy or something like this? Like, they don't teach many people these things, and but they're obviously super needed if you want to succeed in life. It's not enough to just be intelligent or have good grades. Like, you can have the best grades ever, but like, it doesn't matter if your emotional intelligence is like at the bottom or something like that. You won't really get far in life, unless you're probably this psychopath or something, but like even they have pretty good emotional intelligence because they have to know how to scam others and how to like completely disregards others. But anyway, getting back to the false beliefs, then we start, the copy goes on. Notice how it's very conversational. It doesn't use these fancy languages. Ramit, trust me, he knows psychology. He has a very analytical mind. He could like quote dozens of studies or hundreds of peer-reviewed scientific studies here. But why? The average person doesn't care about this. They care about the conclusion. They care about basically meeting and finding a virtual mentor like Ramit, who's like, as they're reading his copy. And I think that Ramit actually wrote this sales page. I'm not exactly sure about it, maybe not, but back in the day, Ramit definitely wrote his sales pages. But after that, he got a lot of other people writing copy for him. But notice how he is like a very approachable, relevant, and friendly guy that you might meet at the bar. And that's what good copywriting is. It's being friendly to your reader. It's really helping them, your reader, actually put down those armor pieces that they have, because they've been bombarded by so many marketing messages throughout their entire lives, okay? But if you can be different, if you can be helpful, if you can really seem like a friend, then it's not going to trigger those defenses, those self-defenses that a lot of people definitely have. So as we move forward, we also have, I like this little objection handling element. Ramit says, is it weird to practice social skills? Because probably what he found from research is that a lot of people don't really work on their social skills because they consider it like weird or something like that. Because it's just, once again, they don't teach this thing in school. So like, many people feel this, so he preemptively answers it so that he doesn't lose people here. Then he shares another personal vulnerable story. This once again establishes more know, like, and trust for Ramit, and we only buy from people who we trust, right? So it's very important to establish this trust as a copywriter. And you can do this, like, think about it. Ramit has millions of people, over 1 million people on his email list. When this promotion first went out, I don't know how many he might have had, but he probably had like, I don't know, 100,000 or something. So there's a chance that at one point, tens of thousands of people were reading this sales page, but it still seems personal, right? And that's the cool thing about good copy, is that you can scale it to infinity almost, but it still seems like Ramit is talking to me one-on-one. It still feels like that. And that's the key thing here, is that you talk to the specific reader, because yes, it goes out to tens of thousands of people, but every single person is reading this one person at a time. And if it really is like a letter, and that's why it's called sales letter, because it's just like a letter, okay? It communicates things, it tells you things. It's almost like a little conversation. It's a one-sided conversation because obviously you cannot really respond, but it's like it touches the correct emotional strings. It pulls those correct emotional strings, and it does it in a very friendly and personal way. That's good copy. So after, a few more of these paragraphs, we get a little part that says basically just let me be your guide, okay, dear reader, please suspend your disbelief, just let me help you, okay? And in order, like, this is kind of like a promise if you think about it, because it asks something from the reader. It says, please let me be your guide. And then the reader might feel like, yeah, but why should I trust you? And then naturally we have like a case study. Like a case study of how there was this Jessica Hamilton person who probably had the same problems, and then she pulled the trigger or started trusting this guide, Ramit, let's say, and then she started experiencing results. So notice how, and Gary Bensevenga would be proud, there's a proof and there's a promise. I mean, there's a promise here and there's a proof, but they're both super important, proof as well. So after this, we continue. We have other like false beliefs, 3 what the fuck beliefs that were holding me back. And Ramit is sharing this from his own perspective, but as we read this as the reader, I mean, readers do feel like it applies to them as well. Because once again, research probably shows that this is what most people in the target audience definitely struggle with. So it's like belief one. We think some people are naturals. And I get it, right? I mean, many people who aren't really successful at this or social skills, they do think like there are people who are naturals. And because of this, they're gonna start feeling like, oh my God, I'm a loser. I'll never catch up. I'll never be like them. So why should I even try? But the truth is that, you know, we all start at different levels, but everyone can improve their social skills. The uncomfortable truth is that socially skilled people get more practice, more interactions, more people wanting to talk to them, resulting in a virtuous circle of becoming better and better. And it makes sense, right? So this is also reason why copy. And the cool thing about this is that, as you can see, it has a lot of genuine value as well. So Gary Bencivenga always says that you should make your advertisement itself super valuable. And it is. Like, think about it. This is a sales page. It's a sales letter. Yet, you're reading about genuinely useful stuff if you're in the target audience. It's like this idea alone could be worth your time if you read the entire sales page, okay? This one thing can change your life. Will it? I don't know, probably not, but like there are some people who just something like this will be like, oh my God, I'm like that and I don't want to be like that, and Ramit was right, and you know, I'm not gonna buy the program, but I will change my life. And you have a lot of people like that. Then you have belief number two. It's weird to practice talking to people. Once again, a big objection that we're answering here. And belief number three, every day I wasn't improving, I was deteriorating. So I'll do it later when I have more time. Once again, just like I said a few minutes before, this is what most people think. This is the default that people do. And it's a trap. And the reason it's a trap is because you're never gonna do it if you think like this. And then Ramit's like gives you the truth. Like, hey, this is how you can actually improve your life because of this. So then, after these false myths, after they're debunked, we get a little transition section. And the reason for this is just to not be, you know, to be a bit more smoother, let's say, between like the first part of the sales letter and the offer part of the sales letter. Because from here on out, we have the offer. This is where we get introduced the product itself, introducing how to talk to anybody. We have the unique selling proposition under it, which says the art and craft of talking to anyone, anywhere, anytime, even if you're not a natural. So this establishes the product as a category of one. Okay, there's nothing else like this. It's the only one that you can buy if you want to be able to talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime, and you don't consider yourself a natural. Okay. So after the introduction and the USP, we got a little overview of what's included of what the product is. So we don't go into features and benefits just yet. It's an overview. Then, interestingly, this isn't always like this in most sales letter templates, but here Ramit is opting to include a little bit more emotion before presenting the features and benefits, because he says, you know, if you ever felt like people see you as a people pleaser, a ditzy oversmiler, an emotionless robot, an awkward creeper, a silent observer, a buzzkill, a rambler, a bitch, a chronic apologizer, a guy in the shadows, then it's time to make a change. So this qualifies people, a lot of people, but also, you know, one more time, it agitates that pain, so that people, when they start reading more about the product, of what's inside and who is this for, you know, they're still feeling the emotions, they're feeling the pain, so they are more likely to make a change. And you definitely want that motivation, because otherwise people will never make the change. So we also get a tease or a hint at how other solutions are inferior. You know, yes, you can go read books, because this is what people would naturally feel like. At this point, they're going to be like, yeah, you know, I do feel like a people pleaser or a rambler or a buzzkill or something like that. But like, why should I buy this course? I mean, I should just go on Google and like research this my own, right? Or on YouTube. But no, here's the answer why that doesn't work. And then you get a little unique selling proposition, once again expanded, of how Sure, you can go to Google and YouTube and research this on your own, but like you're gonna find bullshit. And this is the only program out there that, like, unlike other skim the surface material, goes deep into the psychology of conversational skills at the highest levels. So once again, notice how the product itself does include a lot of psychology and it's based on research, but in the sales letter itself, it's not used at all, and it's good that it's so, because like you don't want to overwhelm people with numbers, with a bunch of rational things, okay? You don't want to engage their rational minds so much in the beginning, at least. At the end, it's more okay, because people buy based on emotion and then they justify their decision with logic once they're already emotionally sold, okay? So then we have a classic like, this is for X and this is not for X. This qualifies people, and it also establishes credibility, because it shows how, Ramit isn't trying to like grab everybody as a customer. Like he really is looking for people who are certain way, and this kind of acts like reverse psychology for most people. Obviously they're gonna feel like, oh, I'm this guy or this girl, but it also shows that he has credibility, and he's a legit guy. Ramit, I mean. So then you have a bunch of testimonials, proof, case studies. Once again, there's a promise. It's like how this is gonna help you do this and that and stuff like that. And then you have proof to back it up. This is very important, but not too many proof elements. Just a few key testimonials or case studies. It's enough usually in most cases. Then we get a little snippet into how, this whole program is like, I've done the work for you. So it's easy, it's simple, anybody can do it. You get like practical word-for-word scripts in every conceivable scenario. So it's like, once again, this acts as objection handling for people. And then we finally get like the what's inside the product. And notice how we don't even start with features. Most people, they only list features. They say, oh, you get 10 hours of video content and it's so cool, and you get this and that and that. And while that's cool, but ultimately that isn't the reason why people buy your product. They buy the transformation that your product offers, okay? They buy the dream. And that's why it's not effective to just advertise your features. You should advertise the benefits of benefits. So your features convey certain benefits, and those benefits even create higher level benefits, and that's the main thing that you should advertise, okay? So like, check these fascinations out. And once again, if you're new to fascinations, check out many of my previous videos about fascinations, especially Mel Martin ones, because I covered the topic in depth. But check this out. In less than 30 days, you'll learn the powerful invisibility cloak method to break through moments of shyness amongst strangers. Oh, interesting, right? It has a curiosity element, like, what's this invisibility cloak method? And then you have a benefit section, break through moments of shyness. I want that, but like, how can I get it? Well, you have to buy the product. Or natural ways to melt away awkwardness when starting conversations. Interesting. My SETI technique to systematically improve your body language and 10x the impact of the message without changing a single word. Interesting. A simple framework to ensure you'll never run out of things to say. Okay, so we got a bunch of these little fascinations. Once again, go check out the entire playlist. The link is in the description section of this video, and there you'll find plenty of examples of great fascinations, world-class fascinations from the best copywriters of all time. And only then do we get the features of the product. It's like, what's included? It's like, you have over 8 hours of conversation frameworks, you have tested tactics, word-for-word scripts, scenario plans, field challenges, all these things, which is cool to know. This is more of the rational aspect of the thing, right? Can you feel it, how these are all about emotion? It's like how to gracefully navigate social blunders, plus word-for-word scripts to get people to like you even more after your mistake. So it's like, whew, that would make me feel better, right? That's the emotional aspect. Now notice the rational aspect. You get 8 hours of conversational frameworks, tested tactics, word-for-word scripts, scenario plans, and field challenges. Yeah, it's cool. it's valuable, but like if we were to start the entire sales letter with this one, it wouldn't be effective because people don't care. There's no emotion tied to it. It's like, oh cool, I get 8 hours of this, but like, why should I care about it? Like, wow, what's the rush? Okay, so that's why you have features only later. And then we have, you know, also different modalities. So in the feature section, you also mentioned that, you know, there's this hours of exclusive social skills tear downs videos, and you have body language analysis, and you have scripts, and you have this thing and that thing, and it just seems like something valuable, but you need to have the emotion to get there. So then we have testimonials, which once again act as proof. Then we have risk reversal, which is very important for every single product that you're selling because it increases sales by like 30, 40, 50%, but it only increases refund rates by about 5% or 10%. But if your product is good, then maybe like 3% or 5%. Obviously, if your product is bad, you shouldn't make a sales page. You should improve your product so that it actually helps people, because otherwise you're getting trouble and you're a scumbag anyway. So don't make the mistake. Make a good product that genuinely helps people, and then have world-class copy to sell it. And then you're going to have success. So after it, we have frequently asked questions, which once again is a pretty big conversion booster usually. So it's very important to include this in the sales page. More modern day sales pages include this at the very end, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like, you can still use it here as well, but you can use it in some of the last parts of the sales page. Okay, this is for people who have objections, and these just answer them. Simple. Then we have the first call to action, and notice how it's like you have one big red button. As even people are scrolling through this, their eyes are going to catch this. So it's easy to spot, easy to click. The main version of this program is just 12 monthly payments of $29. So there's a flexi payment option, which usually boosts conversions, although it doesn't really give you the good quality subscribers or customers that you're usually looking for. But there's also a full price option with which you can save money. And you know, this is just a more advanced psychological trigger. People like to save as well. So it's like, hey, wow. Like, as people are reading this or streaming through this, it seems like, you know, it seems like $29, even though it's like 12 times $29. But it seems like $29. And then you also like read save $51, pay in full. It seems like an overwhelmingly good deal. Okay, that's what's happening here. And then notice how there's also more trust building by mentioning that, you know, if you want help, we have a call center as well. You can call us, you can write us, and we'll help you out. Okay, because some people always have like individual questions. And notice how there's these credit card icons as well, which convey security and more trust. We have even more testimonials for even more trust. You know, when the promise is there, you have to give a lot of proof. And like, the most proof you have to give is around the call to action button, because this is where people have the most uncertainty, the most fear, the most anxiety around the call to action button. And that's why we include the testimonials there. Then we have like this philosophical question by saying, so why now? Why should you care? Why should you choose this? And it's a good question. It's a philosophical question, but it's also, this section agitates the pain a little bit. So it gets people once again emotionally riled up, because this part is all about logic. It's rational. It engages your rational mind. But as we said, people buy based on emotion, and then if they've already made the decision from an emotional point of view, you can help them like concretize this decision by giving them rational reasons as well. So this was all rational. The first part of the sales letter was emotional, then came the rational, and then we get back to the emotional as well. It's like, why not? Well, because if you don't do anything now, then you'll continue suffering, and you know, every day you're going to lose control in your life, and it's gonna suck, and it's not gonna be good. And then after this time, we hint at the solution again. But like, so what if you will regret your life if you don't do anything? What if you're missing out in so many good things in your life? Well, here's your opportunity to change that. Go buy now. And that's the perfect place to include the second call to action, okay? And then we even get bonuses, because sometimes you gotta give people bonuses because the deal seems even better. And nowadays you gotta get even more bonuses. Two bonuses isn't always enough, by the way. So we have the access to the all new How to Talk to Anybody vault, so even more cool stuff. And then we have a cool little interview with Olivia Fox-Caban, author of The Charisma Myth. So once again, you get some pretty valuable stuff. After it, there's this little, what will your next conversation be like? This is the closing section of the sales letter. The final part of the closing section, and it's an empowering close. It's also a crosswords close in the sense that it gets people thinking. It doesn't seem so aggressive, but it seems like, okay, so now is your time, dear reader. So you've read this letter, you know what's at stake here, you know that you're getting a great deal, you know that you're getting bonuses as well. I cannot make the decision for you, and you're free to do whatever you want. Like, if you don't do anything for now, fine by me, you can research this on your own, but just know that you're going to suffer, and you're going to have a much harder time doing this alone than by getting my help, okay? And then what will you choose now? Are you going to continue what you've always done, which usually results in failure, or you're going to take this new opportunity that's the key to your desire, and it's only available through my unique mechanism, right? This is how it gets back to the headline. Let's check out the headline. I was tired of feeling awkward. What if you could talk to anyone, anytime, using the power of body language to create an instant connection, right? That starts the loop of the whole thing, and then at the end you get like, what are you gonna do? What will your next conversation be like? Do you want that? The thing that the headline promised? Yes, you do? Well, in that case, the only thing that you can do is to click this button, and let's get started. So yeah, that's the end of the sales page, and it's super effective. It has 3 call to actions with various other persuasion elements sprinkled around, and you can see probably why this is so effective. And the most important part of the sales letter, obviously, is the big idea. Or it doesn't even have such a big idea, to be honest, but it's like the headline and the lead and the stories. Those are the most important parts in this. Now you know why it's so super effective. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're still here, then please like the video, because I'm sure you got a lot of cool value from this, and you also got like a full sales letter template that you can use. I mean, most people charge like $100 for a breakdown video like this. Now you can watch it for free on YouTube, along with like 50 plus other videos already inside the Proven Sales Letter Breakdown Series playlist that you're gonna find a link below this video too. So yeah, like the video, comment on it, let me know your number one, the thing that resonated with you the most. And also please consider subscribing to the channel as well, because it helps me out a lot. So with that being said, once again, we got a 40-minute video. These are getting longer and longer, but I want to make sure that these are in-depth and you get kick-ass copywriting secrets, because this is what's going to help you become a better expert and a better freelancer, business owner, marketer, stuff like that. So thanks again for watching. See you soon.